We got some late breaking news to get to this morning, starting off the show here at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. So we have a deadly house fire that happened on the near northwest side over by 410 at Babcock. And you see our map right there showing exactly where this happened, Jeff.
Yeah, we got our very own Patty Santos has been out there all morning long. Again, she's been getting information about this. It's happening on far from Babcock Road. Again, Patty Santos, can you tell us exactly what's going on?
Hey there, good morning. Well, this is called the Hillcrest community, and I have been talking to a lot of neighbors here who knew the woman that died in this house fire. I want to show you some video of what the scene looked like just about 3:30 this morning when this fire was called out. We know that a woman in her late 70s was found dead inside the house along with a dog. We know that she lived here alone, and a lot of the neighbors here are coming in and telling me stories about how much she meant to them. She lived here for a very long time, and so a lot of them grew up with this lady, this neighbor, being a part of their lives. They tell me she's very kind, she loved to garden, and she also loved pets, and that is another reason Animal Control Services will be called here to the scene later this morning to take care of some of the pets that she had in her backyard. But again, this woman in her late 70s died inside her home this morning, and the investigation into what caused this fire is just getting started this morning. We're going to give you more updates as we get them. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Patty. Some sad news to start our Thursday morning, and of course, as we start our 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Meteorologist Justin Horn, you've been tracking the weather. Obviously, we got a lot of Juneteenth activities planned throughout the day.
We do some outdoor activities today, and I'll tell you, the forecast looks pretty similar to the last couple of days. We may have to dodge a straight shower this afternoon, but I doubt it. I think the odds of that are very, very low. So let's go outside for you. We've got morning clouds starting to roll in. Like the last couple of days, they're not going to hang around very long if we see any at all, but it is partly cloudy for the moment. 78 degrees outside. In New Braunfels, 76, 73 Bernie. Feels like numbers are already starting to jump into the 80s, so we know that there is already a ton of humidity out there. And by the way, yesterday winds were quite breezy in the afternoon. We'll see a similar setup today, too, with winds out of the south and southeast. 10 to 15 and gusty from time to time. 90 at 2 o'clock and breezy. There's that 10% chance of a shower that we mentioned. Very low odds. Otherwise, we're at 93. Heat index values will be up around 100 yet again. We are not the hottest place in the country, though. Yes, we have plenty of 90s here around Texas, but still a lot of triple digits and excessive heat warnings out across the desert Southwest thanks to our heat high. That heat high is on the move, though. We'll show you where it's headed and what it means for our forecast coming up. For now, we go over to RJ with a look at your morning traffic. Hopefully some quiet conditions today.
Absolutely, Justin. Yes, things have been pretty slow on the roads right now as you give a look there at 410 and Parabital. So our northeast side is going to be kind of where we're seeing the biggest activity at this moment. There's a couple of different shots there. 10 and Hildebrand traffic is looking much better after some overnight construction in those parts of the city. 35 at 37, no major issues for our drivers there right now. But yes, 35 southbound right here at Topper Wine Road. Still seeing some pretty big backups in terms of our traffic that's extending all the way past now towards parts of Retama and also the Forum as well over by O'Connor as well. So yes, just a lot of different activity taking place there on the northeast side of town. I was looking at the camera a little bit earlier and it looks like that convoy is making their way a little bit further south right now. So hopefully they can get that cleared out by the time we hit our 7 o'clock hour here for our drivers. 410 and Parabital Road, this is going to be our other delay here at the moment. It looks like they've kind of shifted a couple of these barrels off to the side of the road here, and it looks like we have a stalled vehicle off to the side there as well. So this is going to be affecting all of our traffic coming on 410 towards parts of 410 and 35. So again, northeast side is kind of where we're seeing the most activity on this Thursday morning. No major accidents to let you know about right now. Let's go to Alex Gomez right now in Drive Cam with a check of things on the ground. Alex, what's going on?
RJ, good morning and happy Friday, Junior. It's Juneteenth. A lot of drivers have the day off except for those construction workers. So I'm going to head back to the northeast side. I'm going to check things out right there at 410 eastbound near Parabital, because that's a spot where we usually don't see some lanes closed, but this morning at this hour we do. So I'm going to go see if they're about to wrap up this morning. But for right now, the east side, this is I-35 northbound near Benz Engelman. East side still looking very sharp, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Alex, for us in Drive Cam this morning. Well, remembering lives lost is a story that's been on everyone's mind for the past week.
We had community members gathering last night to pay their respects to 13 people who died in the historic floodwaters we saw last week. Now, Azaria Oates was there at the vigil last night where, as you can see and imagine, emotions were running high.
My heart definitely goes out to all these families.
For them to come out, and some of these people that I've spoken to don't have relatives or wasn't involved, and they're still here to support. So my heart is filled with gratitude more than anything.
My dad was he believed in God. He believed that everything happened in accordance to God's will. So as unfortunate as this might be, I say it again, do not let this break y'all, bro.
In moments like these, we can trust that San Antonio will come together.
They told us how dangerous it was to search, and we searched for 12 hours or more for Derwin.
Can't think of the last time something like this has happened here in San Antonio.
So they neglected us, and we are going to fight. And we are going to fight for all the families out here that don't have the strength to fight. And we're not going to let it go. So we are gathering contact information, we are gathering resources, and we're going to fight out of love.
We're going to understand what happened here, how we can do better, and I just wanted to express my condolences. Making sure that we are all aware of making sure that that is appropriate in scope, not only for the engineering and infrastructure-related items as a result of that, but also make sure our processes and policies as it relates to extreme weather events were sufficient.
Okay, so staying on the topic of weather, that was a discussion ahead of last night's swearing-in ceremony for newly elected Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones. So she talked about city infrastructure. The mayor also, along with several members of the brand new city council, taking their oaths of office yesterday. Mayor Jones will be flying out today to attend the annual meeting of the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Tampa, Florida. This is her first elected office. She's a former undersecretary of the Air Force under former President Joe Biden and made 2 unsuccessful congressional bids.
This morning, we now know the name of a man who was found dead underneath a downtown bridge. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's office says a 38-year-old Curtis Davis remains were discovered back on June 11th under I-10 near North Frio Street. He was found with a gunshot wound to the chest, his death being investigated as a homicide.
Well, as the Trump administration prepares for potential action against Iran, military reservists are receiving activation orders, and that includes this gentleman right here, Bexar County Commissioner Grant Moody. Moody is a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Reserves. KSAT spoke with him as he was literally packing up to head over to MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. He says that he'll be assisting with operational planning and a staff to ready support teams.
We're still trying to figure out exactly what our service is going to require down here in Tampa, but I think it's very important that citizens of Bexar County know that we're fully engaged.
Well, Moody says that he's going to continue to carry out his duties as county commissioner remotely.
Meanwhile, overnight, Israel reportedly targeted Iran's nuclear reactor as both countries continue trading deadly strikes. Hundreds are dead, including top Iranian commanders and Israeli civilians. And now all eyes are on President Donald Trump. Sources say that he's been briefed on the possible U.S. military action, but no decision just yet. With 40,000 American troops stationed in the region, leaders on both sides are warning of serious consequences if the U.S. steps in.
Well, this morning, unwanted pizza deliveries are raising red flags in Washington. Lawmakers from both parties and even Capitol Police leaders have been getting pizza sent to their homes with no clue who's behind it. Federal authorities worry that it's actually just not a prank, but a message letting recipients know that the sender knows where they live. The delivery started before a recent shooting involving Minnesota lawmakers, adding to those concerns. Okay, check this out. Some video from overnight. SpaceX, the rocket being tested in South Texas, has exploded, sending that dramatic fireball into the sky. The company says the Starship experienced a major anomaly at about 11 p.m. last night while on the test stand at Starbase. SpaceX's launch site out there in Brownsville, South Texas. The company says that in a statement on X that all personnel are safe and unaccounted for. SpaceX says that there are no hazards to nearby communities. It has asked people not to try to approach that site.
All right, today is Juneteenth, and it marks the day in 1865 when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston and announced that enslaved people in the United States were free. There are plenty of ways to celebrate Juneteenth, though, in San Antonio, from a golf tournament to a fireworks display. Let's get right to it. First, you got the Juneteenth annual golf tournament will take place from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. today at Canyon Springs Golf Club. We got green fees set at $175 and go to the Miller Child Development Center. If you want some firework action, good for you, because get this, we got good food there as well. You can go to the Juneteenth celebration. It's happening at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight at True Vision Church. There will be that firework display, food trucks, live music, and so much more. And let's not forget about this weekend. SA Black History Tours will host Juneteenth bus tours that will feature tour visits, significant African-American landmarks such as Carver Cultural Community Center, Ella Austin Orphanage, and more. Tours will leave Saturday from Carver Library. That's not only event happening this week, though. Of course, you can scan that QR code on your screen. It'll take you to our website for a list of all the events happening this week. You can find that information anytime at KSAT.com. And because Juneteenth is a federal holiday, that means some closures. We got banks will be closed, along with some municipal and city offices in our viewing area. In addition to the offices, San Antonio City Libraries will also be closed. Officials with CPS Energy also says that its offices and customer service centers will be shut down to observe the holiday. If you're wondering about garbage and recycling pickup, they'll run as normal today.
Outside with Live Cam. If you're going to be out and about today, do know it will be hot and humid. We're also keeping eyes on Hurricane Eric. This rapidly intensified overnight. We'll show you just how strong it is now. Coming up.
Lost in the wilderness, then this this woman missing for days. We got dramatic videos showing that the moments she airlifted from a remote Arizona canyon.
Ugh, scary stuff there. Okay, well, don't let summer idleness lead to trouble. We're going to show you how Big Mama Safe House is launching a new program to keep kids engaged and why it's so vital to the community. Coming up next.
And it's lurking in your kitchen. It could make your whole family sick. We're talking about salmonella. It is still slipping through the system. And the simple move that could save your dinner, we got that. And your health coming up. Welcome back at 6:14. Just how safe is the poultry on your plate? Salmonella is a leading cause of foodborne illness, yet the Department of Agriculture backed off a proposed rule to strengthen safety standards for raw poultry.
Okay, well, here's our Ernie Zuniga with how you can prevent food poisoning in your own kitchen.
Each year, more than 1.3 million Americans get sick from salmonella, and chicken and turkey are often to blame. And the problem isn't going away. Brian Ronholm, Food Policy Director at Consumer Reports, says that's exactly why stronger regulations are needed now more than ever.
So when infections keep rising year after year, it's very clear that the current system isn't equipped to handle this issue adequately.
In 2022, Consumer Reports found salmonella in nearly 1/3 of the ground chicken it tested, and in some turkey samples too. The results pointed to serious gaps in federal food safety oversight. To address ongoing concerns, last year the USDA proposed a rule aimed at making poultry safer. It would have classified some salmonella-contaminated poultry as adulterated, which could have forced recalls and kept unsafe products off store shelves. But now the agency is backing down.
So unfortunately, what this means is the burden shifts to the consumer. The consumer is the one that has to figure out how best to protect their family from foodborne illness. And that's unfair when you consider everything that a consumer has to deal with on a daily basis.
With that in mind, there are ways you can lower your risk of salmonella right now. At the market, keep raw meat in a disposable bag and separate it from ready-to-eat foods. At home, thaw meat in the refrigerator, not on the counter, and place it on a plate or in a bowl to catch any drips. In the kitchen, avoid cross-contamination. Don't rinse raw poultry. Wash your hands and utensils with hot, soapy water, and use separate cutting boards for meat and produce. And most importantly, always cook chicken and turkey to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. A meat thermometer is the only way to be sure. You can buy a Consumer Reports top-rated digital meat thermometer for under $20. Simple steps that can make a big difference in keeping your family safe.
All right, that was Ernie Zuniga reporting. Okay, let's check out our roadways.
Okay, yes, good information there from Ernie. Taking a look here at I-10 at Frio, traffic is looking pretty good there. Looks like they are starting to pick up some construction over at 410 and Perrin Vital Road on the northeast side of town, but there are reports of a stalled vehicle over here at 37 and Houston Street. So this is going to be on the east side of downtown San Antonio right here. This is going to be right before you get past the Alamo Dome. That's kind of in this one spot here on the east side of town. Looks like traffic is looking pretty good there for the most part. Let's take you out to Top Rewind because obviously we've been dealing with a lot of construction right here, and we're starting to see a little bit of clearance out here for our drivers. Earlier we saw that we had the backup going past the 35-1604 interchange, past Live Oak, but it looks like we're starting to see some things clear out there. I saw the work convoy earlier kind of making their way a little bit further south, so hopefully we could get things cleared out here for our drivers out in that part of town. Let's go to Alex Gomez with the very latest in Drive Cam for us on this Thursday morning. Alex, how are things looking, my man?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So this is what you're going to see if you're traveling 410 eastbound near Starcrest. Now, earlier we did have multiple lanes closed because of construction. So we'll see how long this takes me. The next time we talk, I'll let you know how long it takes me to get through this area, RJ.
Okay, good stuff there from Alex in terms of our traffic concerns over there, 410, Pyramidal, and Starcrest.
Thanks, sir. All right, let's talk about Hurricane Eric. It's in the Pacific. We mentioned it yesterday. We expected this to become a Category 2 hurricane. And what it did overnight was rapidly intensify, becoming a Category 4 hurricane, exceeding all expectations here. Right now, winds are at 140 miles per hour. This was the scene yesterday evening, by the way. Looked very healthy. It is since looking a little more ragged because it is now starting to interact with land, but still a Category 4 storm. So this is a dangerous storm for those on the West Coast. It's mainly affecting the state of Oaxaca, but it will move up towards Acapulco and bring quite a bit of rain there. It's moving northwest at about 9 miles per hour. And here is the latest track. Rapid weakening. So this thing's a depression by early tomorrow morning, but it's going to be dumping a lot of heavy rain to the west coast of Mexico. And in some cases, we could be talking about a foot or more of rainfall there along the west coast. So pretty impressive stuff. There could be mudslides, pretty dangerous situation unfolding there. So if you have travel plans to Mexico, make sure you're aware of that. Here locally, we don't have that kind of heavy rain here. In fact, our rain chances today are very low, 10%, 2 o'clock, 90. And you see the small rain chances through roughly dinner time. If we see a shower today, it will be very brief and very isolated. Temperatures right where they were yesterday, 93, but the heat index will make it feel like 100. Here's a look at the Futurecast. And this is one of our computer models, and it does show some of these spotty showers showing up. This is around noontime. Victoria, Cuero, Howattsville, those are the places that are most likely to get one of these showers. And usually the way this works is these showers get right up to the I-35 corridor, and then they generally fall apart, with the sea breeze. Again, I don't know that we'll see much here in San Antonio, but we'll certainly keep an eye on the radar. If we see anything, it's not going to be one of those situations where your rain gauge gets filled up. And really, that's kind of the pattern that we're going to be in all the way into next week. We do have slightly better chances next week because the moisture gets just a little deeper, but nothing to write home about. We do know, though, with all this humidity, that the mosquitoes are awful. So my question to you is, why do mosquitoes draw blood from humans and animals? Is it to stay hydrated? Does it help in digestion? Is it for wing development, which no one thinks that's the case? Yeah. Or is it to produce eggs? Let us know what you think. Vote, ksat.com/polls. Scan the QR code. Capital Farm Credit Union bringing you your Just Ask Justin question this morning, and we'll reveal that answer here in about half an hour.
I will say that when I was younger, I did think producing eggs because, like, when they get you, you get like that little bump, and I used to think it was the eggs filling up in my skin.
That's what I thought too. It would, like,
but
lay
then,
them inside you.
if you smack them, the blood, so you already know they drinking something. It's 6:21 right now, 78 degrees outside.
Up next, a first look at a dramatic rescue that was caught on camera. Check this out. See the moment that a missing hiker lost for 3 days in an Arizona canyon is miraculously airlifted to safety.
In this morning's GMA First Look, caught on camera rescue. Watch as a woman who had been missing for 3 days is dramatically airlifted out of an Arizona canyon. 32-year-old Janelle Banda was camping with her dad in the panoramic Coconino National Forest in Arizona Friday evening when she took a walk, her dad calling for help when she didn't return.
It's about 7,000 feet in elevation, ponderosa pine forest terrain.
It was a race against time as rescuers began their search, one of them telling GMA Janelle was without food, water, and any other survival equipment.
We put a team in to specifically go back to that cliff edge. Her ability to sustain herself in that environment for a long time was definitely a concern for us.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on this dramatic chopper rescue and how the hiker is doing now. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Coming up on 626 right now, 78 degrees outside.
Crime Court or Creativity House San Antonio nonprofit is using T-shirts to keep teens off the streets and out of trouble.
And we got a shocking discovery on the east side. A dead dog found stuffed into a suitcase and left outside of a home. We'll show you that disturbing new video of the person of interest, and you can hear from the outraged neighbors. That's next, plus some breaking news that Patty Santos has been covering.
Top of our 6:30 half hour, and we continue to follow breaking news this morning. A deadly house fire on the near northwest side of town.
So this is happening around 3:30 this morning. This, if you look on the map right there on your screen, this is on South Hill Drive, which is not far from Babcock Road. We got our very own Patty Santos live at the scene. She's been there all morning long. Patty.
Hey there, good morning. We are starting to get a lot more neighbors that are dropping by to visit the home here. The fire department is still here. You can see the scene behind me here. That is the house that is in question. The arson investigators have just arrived. They're going to try to figure out what started this fire, but we know a woman in her late 70s died. She was found inside her room in this house fire. We know she had a lot of pets as well. One of those, a dog, also found dead inside. It was actually a neighbor who was driving by, we're told, who noticed the smoke coming from here and called the fire department. It was two police officers that showed up really quickly and tried to break in. They did actually break into the front door, but they just could not make entry because the smoke was so overwhelming. We know that the fire department again is trying to find out what started this fire. We did ask them, however, what the condition was inside the house. Take a listen. Does it appear that she tried to exit the home?
Does not appear. Was found in the bedroom by our firefighters when they made entry.
And neighbors telling us that the woman, she was very independent. She lived alone, but she used a walker to get around. And again, a lot of them have known her for a very long time because she's lived here for decades. And they're very sad this morning to find out that she has passed away. Animal Control Services will be called in to help with remove some of the animals that the woman owned here later today. That is all the information that we have. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Patty. Some unfortunate news there, and we'll continue to follow that story on air and online as well.
All right, Justin, get on with the weather. Obviously, again, several events planned today.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here across the city today, and I think the weather's going to cooperate for the most part. It's muggy for sure, but it's going to look a lot like yesterday. Let's take a look at the pollen count. We'll get the new numbers in here very soon, but molds are high, 1,360. So if you got some sniffles and sneezes, molds could be the reason for that. Pigweed and grass are low. I do think molds should continue to trend downward now that the rains have kind of come to an end. Outside right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies. Temperature is at 78. We still got a pretty good south-southeasterly breeze. Yesterday, those winds were quite strong. We saw some gusts up around 30 miles per hour. We may also see that again today. So again, a pretty much carbon copy of yesterday. 86 noontime, 90 at 2 o'clock. There is a 10% chance of a shower, mainly south and east of town, and your high temperature will be right around 93 with the heat index close to 100. It is hot here, but it will be even hotter off to our east and northeast in places that aren't really used to it. We'll show you where the heat is headed coming up, but we tossed over to RJ now with a traffic update.
Very much, Justin. So the moles, that's the reason why my nose is all stuffed up.
Let's go with that, yeah.
There we go. 281 to the Quarry. Traffic is looking pretty good out there for our folks on the north side of town. 10 at Frio, downtown area. No major issues right now for many of our drivers there. 410 Parambidal, still dealing with some overnight construction. Looks like we have potentially a stalled vehicle off to the side there. Again, TxDOT still reporting that is delay due to some ongoing construction there. But again, we'll continue to monitor that situation and give you more updates as we get them. 37 southbound right here at Houston did have reports of a stalled vehicle, but traffic looking pretty good there. Again, today is a federal holiday, so not expected to see a lot of people on the roads, or at least not the normal volume that we usually see. And check this out. Things have cleared out on 35 right here at Top Rewind, so good news for our drivers if you're about to step outside on the northeast side of town. Let's go to Alex with a look at things in drive cam for us. And it looks like Alex might actually be at this incident there in Perrin Vital. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So this is going to be the eastbound lanes, 410 eastbound, right before Perrin Vital. It looks like we do have that accident right here, and it's blocking the middle lane. Textile Heroes just arrived, and a little bit further down the road, you are going to have the right lane blocked as well. That's the other car involved in this. So again, 410 eastbound before Perrin Vital. The construction has wrapped up, and now we have this new accident that's going to cause the same kind of delays this morning, RJ.
Okay, sorry to see that for our drivers there, and hopefully they get this cleared out sometime soon. Thank you very much for that, Alex. Well, new this morning, a man, accused of shooting his two brothers and his dad on Father's Day in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is now under arrest and here in the Bexar County Jail. Now, police say that the man that you see on your screen, 26-year-old Kaiwan Washington, was booked on 3 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. This shooting happened on Sunday at a home in North Tulsa. And according to police, Washington will be taken back to Tulsa to face charges.
Okay, so we got the latest on a dead dog stuffed inside a suitcase, and it was people living on the east side that found what was left. This security video that you see right here shows who Animal Care Services is calling a possible person of interest, dropping that suitcase outside someone's home in Dinwiddie Hill. You see it right there. We got a report from SAPD saying the officers opened the bag last Saturday night around 8 p.m. and saw a small dog wrapped in cotton. They notified ACS. Animal Care Services says that the dog, not microchipped, and appears to be a small terrier mix. Neighbors say that they're still in shock knowing that this happened right outside of their home.
They can't speak up, they can't protect themselves, and we need to do that protection.
This morning, ACS still trying to find out how the animal died.
Well, one of our other top stories this Thursday morning, a man fighting for his life after San Antonio police say that he was stabbed by his own brother. This was the scene around 6 o'clock last night. If you look at the video there on Gwinnett Street, just west of I-35 and I-10. San Antonio police say that they found the man with a stab wound to his cheek. He was then taken to the hospital in critical condition. Officers are still looking for the brother who they believe stabbed him. We're told an argument led to this incident.
I'm giving you a shot. Don't mess this up.
I'm sorry, and I really am, and I don't know if you believe in God, but I do, and I'm trying to turn to God and just be a better person in general.
That was the words of an 11-year-old boy who brought a gun and 60 rounds of ammo to Harris Middle School last month. And he has to face a judge yesterday. Eventually, he took a plea deal for 1 year of deferred adjudication. And last month, again, he was arrested and charged with unlawful carry of a weapon at a prohibited place, which was a third-degree felony.
Okay, now let's get to this CPS story here. They are warning about a scam alert that customers may be receiving a call from someone claiming to be a representative who is also saying that your power will be disconnected unless you pay the bill over the phone. Now, CPS Energy telling us that they want to remind everyone out there that they'll never demand payment over the phone. If you receive a call from a suspicious so-called CPS Energy spokesperson, hang up the phone immediately and report that phone number. Well, our KSAT community partners are getting the word out about Project Men's summer donation collection drives. Their first Gear Up for Mobility event will take place at New Braunfels City Hall.
So it's going to be a Saturday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's where you can donate new or gently used home medical equipment like wheelchairs and power scooters. You can find details at ksatcommunity.com.
Right outside with light. It's going to be warm next couple days. But there we are. We're going to see some really warm temperatures up across the Great Lakes. We'll show you those numbers coming up.
Okay, Justin, let's get to this story now. A San Antonio nonprofit fighting to keep teens out of trouble with ink t-shirts and a whole lot of love. Patty Santos shows us how coming up next. 641, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. Well, San Antonio area nonprofit wants to give some kids something to do this summer. Every kid needs something to do so they don't get into trouble.
Yeah, so Big Mama's Safe House is launching the Great Youth T-shirt printing program.
Okay, so this printing program is an 8-week course that will teach them design, print, and even financial literacy. It's completely free and they even get a meal. The nonprofit did a similar program last year and says the success is that their kids had a safe place to hang out during the summer.
And the number one thing that I'm proud of is that we had 40 kids for the summer. 40 kids came to the program and 40 kids went home safe for the whole summer. That's big in these communities when we don't lose not one kid to gun violence, to crime, to if they didn't have nothing to eat. We fed the kids the whole summer. In this program, we're giving out breakfast and lunch and snacks as well.
So right now, both locations are struggling to get the teens motivated to sign up. The program is open to kids in those communities. You can head to KSAT.com and search for a link to the story.
They were fighting. The Americans were on the left, the Germans on the right. Some kind of an officer, I imagine. Yeah. What are you doing? Get out. I said, you do your job and I do mine.
Okay, serving our country here, one of the highest honors out there, given to a 103-year-old World War II veteran from right here in San Antonio. This is a Private First Class Pedro Vera. Pedro enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1942, and by 1944, he was storming the beaches of Normandy, driving ambulances full of wounded soldiers. After our interview, he was whisked away in an old Army Jeep, taken to the Veteran Plaza in Bernie, where a Major General offered his own award, pinning Pedro as a one-star general. And then a member of the French consulate from Houston gave him the French Legion of Honor, the highest award in their country. Pedro has a message for the rest of us.
I just want people to realize that a war is ugly, and that I hope there is no more wars.
Thank you for your service.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Definitely. Okay, so we all know 4th of July, just 2 weeks away. Stars and Stripes of Houston Street returning this year. It's a 6-day celebration in downtown San Antonio, and it all starts July 1st. There will also be a special performance by the 300th Army Reserve Band. Plus, you can be a part of that parade. Central SA is accepting entries for parade participation through June 29th. Got that legal registration page at KSAT.com.
Okay, that should be a lot of fun. While they are small in size, but big in talent. This morning, we're shining a spotlight on San Antonio's youngest entrepreneurs at the Pearl, where crayons meet creativity and lemonade stands level up.
Yeah, last night was the Children's Night Market, giving kids a chance to dream big, sell their own creations, and show the community what they're made of.
So we have a natural, all natural bath and body care line that we handcraft ourselves. Our daughter, we have 3 daughters, she's our oldest. They help create everything that we have on our table. This time is going to be kid-centered, so any kid entrepreneur are the ones that are in the center of it, and the parents are just here to support them.
Hello. We did hand fans, magnets, bookmarks, and a coaster set with napkin holders. And then for the bookmarks, we also painted it and put string right here. I had this economics fair in my school, and it was like we could sell them. So my mom said, oh, why don't we make like fans too, and like for this, the Pearl.
My daughter here, she's an entrepreneur herself. She runs her own lemonade business. She has over 50,000 followers on Instagram, helps grow them, helps them with real life experiences, interactions with adults, interactions with other kids, teaching them everyday values. It's a wonderful thing that the Pearl hosts here.
Pretty cool stuff. Hey guys.
There you go. And he reappears. Oh,
okay,
wait. I was going to do a magic trick right there. All right. How we looking?
All right. Actually, we are looking pretty good. Of course, today is Juneteenth, so a federal holiday. So not seeing too many people on the roads right now. And we have more information on any sort of closures, city and county, right now on our website, ksat.com. As you look here at the quarry, traffic looking pretty good there. 281. no major delays there. And then our downtown area, Tenafrio, no major delays there for our folks. Just got that construction taking place there over at South Alamo and 35. So biggest delays we're seeing at the moment is going to be right here, 410 at Perrin-Vidal Road, our eastbound traffic right before you get to the 410-35 interchange. We have reports of a crash, and it looks like it's blocking at least 2 main lanes. So let's go ahead and go to Alex Gomez because he has been at the scene for the past couple of minutes or so. And let's see if we could get an update from Alex in DriveCam. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So the situation is getting better. San Antonio Fire Department, they made it out to the scene and they were able to move this damaged car right here off of the middle lane and to the right lane. So we only have 1 lane blocked right now, 410 eastbound right before Perrin-Vidal, but the backup is already pretty much intense right now. It's back to about Harry Wurzbach. So just know that if you are headed this way, right lane's blocked. Try and stay on that left side this morning, RJ.
Okay, good information, Alex. We'll continue to follow that situation out there on the near northeast side. So Justin, I know you got your Just Ask Justin question. Cannot wait for the answer. But quick trivia for you. Today is the 20th anniversary of what iconic Spurs shot?
Oh, okay. Well, I think you told me this earlier, actually. Robert Horry.
Yes, Big Shot Bob.
Against
Detroit.
the Pistons.
Yep, Game 5.
Yes. Oh. Man, he made some big shots in his career, didn't he? Including for the Spurs. But
yes.
Yeah, okay.
20 years ago today, man.
But until you told me that, I did not know that. Yes. Okay. Good trivia. Thank you, sir. All right. Drought monitor comes in this morning, and we'll get it updated at 9 o'clock. It should be coming in here pretty soon. And the reason we're very interested in seeing what the drought monitor has to offer is because we think that our exceptional drought, which has been around for so long, will actually go away. Now, we're not saying the drought's going to go away, but I think we've eaten into this quite a bit with our recent rainfalls. You know, we got a ton of rain, obviously, last week. So we'll see where this ends up. And by the way, the drought monitor takes into account several things: lake levels, soil moisture, rainfall, obviously. So there's more than one thing that determines whether or not we're in a drought, but it is something we will be watching very closely as it comes in later today. We'll share it with you. 114, the high temperature in Phoenix, 108 in Las Vegas today. Another blazing hot day across the desert Southwest. This heat high, by the way, is on the move, and it will make its way across Texas and eventually kind of switch sides of the country here, going from the west to the east. It's sort of an interesting setup. It's still going to have control over our weather. It'll keep us pretty warm, but it moves far enough north to where there's going to be some big-time heat for the Northeast, the Great Lakes, the Midwest, and then the West gets a trough. So the big-time heat actually will be in places like Detroit, Chicago, Louisville, St. Louis. These are the high temperatures on Sunday, by the way. And a lot of these places will probably be warmer than San Antonio, which you don't see very often. But even places like Omaha could be up above 100. Precipitation outlook as we get into next week, it's just going to be, yes, it shows that we've got a little higher odds of seeing some above average precipitation, but honestly, it's just going to be that stuff along the coast, the light showers that may try to work inland. Nothing to write home about, so our rain chances will be at about 10% starting today, and then we may bump them up to 20% next week. Temperatures very consistent in the low to mid-90s each and every day, and partly cloudy skies. Okay, our question for you this morning: why do mosquitoes draw blood from humans and animals? Are they just mean, or is there a reason for it? Is it A, to stay hydrated, B, helps in digestion, C, is it for wing development, or D, to produce eggs?
Okay, now that you say that, it's not to lay eggs. Produce, meaning they gotta, okay.
Your blood.
That continues to be the leading, prevailing vote here. What do you guys think?
Man, I was going with hydration,
Eggs.
but now I'm thinking eggs.
I'll go eggs.
Now we say produce, it's not laying them.
Yes. So we'll switch over the graphics real quick, guys, if we can. There we go. And the correct answer is yes,
Right.
You guys are right, to produce eggs.
Oh, okay.
So this is, and I actually did not know this, and I feel like I should have. Only female mosquitoes bite.
What?
They do so to obtain blood, which provides nutrients to help produce their eggs. Males mainly feed on nectar and plant juices.
It always is us.
Hey, you said that, not me.
Exactly.
I'm
Let me
kidding.
be very clear.
We gotta be all,
For
man.
my wife that is listening at home, I did not say that.
No, I'm kidding as well. Either way, that is very interesting. I thought they were both, so now it's, I'm sorry. us females going down with a bang.
The more you know.
Y'all stick around. 6:51. It's 78 degrees outside.
All right, today on GMSA Plus, you've heard of a dog park, but what about a cat park? Check this out, the Cat-tastic Day for baseball and a look at some of the feline fun at the Missions games. All right, coming up on 6:55, quick check of our traffic. We have a crash still on the eastbound lanes of 410 at Perrin Vital Road. We're going to give you more updates as we get them with Alex in Drive Cam in just a little bit. Justin. Yes.
Thank you for that intro. Yes, clouds begin to scatter out. We'll have some morning clouds around 10 a.m. 86 noontime, 93 is your high. Sure, there is a 10% chance of a shower, but don't expect much. You'd have to win the rain lottery today to get underneath one of these showers. But if you do, congratulations. We'll see those very small chances going into tomorrow, into the weekend. We officially hit summer tomorrow. Officially, although it's felt like it for quite a while now. And then we get some slightly better rain chances next week.
All right. You guys stick around with us because we're still celebrating Juneteenth with you. Of course, there's a lot of different activities to do. Tomorrow, the longest day of daylight, right?
Longest day of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, summer doesn't officially start until the evening hours, but yes, it is the longest day of the year, 14 hours of daylight.
Okay, which means it's a longer time for the kiddos to go outside and swim. There's nothing better than swimming when you were younger.
No, yeah,
remember
cooling
that?
off.
The sun was going down.
Get a nice little
and you still
popsicle
clowning.
or something.
Exactly. So you guys got a lot of stuff to do today
definitely.
and tomorrow and this weekend. So either way, hang around with us because we got so much more things coming your way.
Absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of, I know we didn't mention it during our 6 o'clock hour, but Shakira rescheduled.
Oh, yeah.
That's taking place July 4th weekend. So if you already had plans for that, look at Jav. She's shaking them hips.
I got it, girl. Let's leave us. Okay, y'all stick around, man. GMSA Plus continues right after this. KSAT.com and KSAT Plus.